All right, welcome back. Afternoon Drive here on Joppa Radio. My name is Drew Moholland. Hope you're all having a good Tuesday. It is a bit of a weak weather week here. We get it's cloudy and rainy in the forecast here for the next few days, and then finally, like Saturday, I think we look good. So get through it. Won't be that bad. It's just rain. Snow will be here before you know it. Again, my name is Drew Moholland. We got a great show again for you here today. Another music show. We've kind of been rolling with a lot of these lately. Mark Bishop Evans making his return to the show. So very excited about that. He was great here last time. I can't quite remember how long ago that was. Maybe he has the date. I can't remember. A couple months since Mark was on, but we'll get to him in just a moment. Lily Dissette producing today. Tyler Neufeld in there. Sarah Hayden, Caleb Noble, the whole gang putting together this. Hello to everybody streaming at home and watching on the television. And, of course, our loyal radio listeners. If you're on the road, take it slow out there. It was kind of a lot going on out there. Traffic and work crews and I don't know, some tough visibility in spots. So I just came up from Danvers, and it was I don't know, it seemed like people weren't driving too well today. So take it easy out there on the roads. Don't forget, you can follow the show at Joppa Afternoons on Twitter. That's at Joppa, Joppa Afternoons on Twitter. And yeah, so that's that. You know what? My guest is actually here and ready to go. Mark Bishop Evans is in the house. Why don't I bring him in right now and introduce him? Mark, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, Drew.
Good to see you again. How are things?
Good.
Good.
Fantastic.
You've been busy. We've been we became Facebook friends. You do a good job getting all your stuff out there, and I know it seems like you're playing all over the place these days.
Well, you know, that's the idea.
You do. You love playing, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
I've been playing for my whole life, and so it's what I enjoy doing most. Yeah.
Love playing in front of a good audiences and bad audiences.
Good audiences. People who want to listen. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. You could do away with the bad ones. What you been writing a lot still, or?
I am. Actually, I've got 6 or 7 new songs since the last time I saw you.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Good. We're gonna hear any of them today, or?
Probably not. I'm gonna probably try to stick with the CD.
Stick to the CD. All right, there you go. This guy here too, by the way. There you go. That's a nice little photo. So this is Something About Tomorrow. How'd that title come about?
Well, it's the title song.
Yep.
You know, so it's really it's kind of an uplifting song about things being better. You know.
Yeah.
And looking forward to things, looking up instead of looking down. I
think I read on here. It says it here somewhere. I think if I remember correctly, that you wrote all of these songs. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
That's a beautiful thing. So like I said, you've been playing a lot. I think I noticed. I actually recommended you because I knew there were people. I had family at the Topsfield Fair the day that you were going to be playing at the fair, and I saw that, and I said, go check this guy out. You'll enjoy him.
Yeah.
How'd that go, the Topsfield Fair?
The fair was fun.
Yeah. Do you do it? Do you do a lot of those? Or?
No, well, this was my first time. This was my first time at the Topfields Fair.
No kidding. Okay.
Yeah. And, hopefully they like me, and, they'll invite me back. We'll see about that, But I had a good time, and there was some, I had a pretty good crowd to listen, and they seemed to enjoy it. So, that's what you're up there for.
It must be a good thing for, in that kind of situation to have, you don't really have people that are necessarily, it's not just all your fans. You probably get some like kind of drifters that are just there to kind of check out something new. Oh, let's see. Maybe you can win some new fans over that way, right?
And it happened to be in a really nice spot. There was like 3 little food places right around. And so, everybody would come up and grab food, and then they have to have some place to sit down. So, hey, here it is.
Not a bad spot. Yeah. There you go. Although you have to smell, the fried dough the whole time?
Yeah, I had to do that. Yeah, that was, I put on 3 pounds just smelling it.
Indeed, yes. I can imagine that. That's good. It looked like a cool stage over there. For some reason, I remember thinking that was, it seemed like a nice little spot for you. But
it was perfect.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Where else are we playing these days? The kind of all around the scene, right?
Coffee in Salem, the Hearing Room.
That's Salem, New Hampshire, too.
Yeah, Salem, New Hampshire, the Hearing Room in Lowell, Cat in the Cradle in Byfield.
Oh, nice.
Other places. I've got things just later this year scheduled at Dedham Square Coffee House in Dedham, and the Baron in Somerville, and
what a famous spot that is, huh?
Yeah.
Is that are you playing there because they have music like all day, every hour of the day? You doing a morning or not?
I'm doing a brunch.
Brunch, yeah.
Yeah, doing a Sunday brunch.
One of the few places that does the brunch live music thing right?
Yeah, yeah.
I always love that about that place.
Yeah, so That's next year, early next year. Then later on in the year, I've got a gig at the Cat in the Cradle, and I'm doing some places like Wingate Residences, some places like that.
Cool, very good. Well, that sounds like a good plan. I know you have you played a bunch of songs for us here last time. Do you remember the last time you were on?
I do.
What month? Well, how many months
It was
back?
June.
It was June, that long ago?
June 15th.
Wow, look at you with the dates. Good for you.
Well, hey, I looked it up.
That's funny. It's funny. It's
I looked it up because I didn't want to repeat some of the songs. So I looked it up, and it's and so looked it up to see what songs I did, so I don't do the same things again.
Well, it's probably too long since we've seen you on, so maybe we'll try to not make that as long next time because we enjoyed having you last time. So all the way back in the early summertime. Yeah. Wow. Feels like yesterday, Mark.
Yeah. That's how time goes.
Yeah, that is how time goes, especially these shows. They fly by and the weeks fly by. So, what have you seen any good shows? One thing I like about you is you're not all about you. I notice every time you have somebody up there that takes the stage, you're very what's the word I'm looking for? Very good to the others that are performing. You're always kind of shouting out for other people on Facebook and social media and saying. The great whatever was on stage tonight, that sort of thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, I look at it this way. The night sky would be really boring if there was just one star.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
The more stars that are up there, the more interesting the night sky is. And I kind of look at that way as far as performers and music around. The more variety you have out there and the more different voices you're hearing out there, the more interesting the whole thing is for me.
Is it mostly a supportive community, the musicians and so?
Well, yeah. I mean, for the most part, it's a pretty supportive community. I mean,
unless you're fighting for gigs.
Oh yeah, obviously there's egos involved here.
Not in the music business, no.
But if you can put that aside and just be comfortable with what you do, and then you get to meet some really cool people. You get some great ideas from people. And
so you're still generating ideas off other peers.
Oh, yeah. People say something, I'll go. Well, I'll pull my phone out and I said, I'll write that down.
That's true.
They don't seem to be using it, so maybe I can.
I bet. How is your? We probably dipped a little bit into this last time, but do you literally have to do that? Like take notes because if you don't write something down or put something in your phone, you're going to forget maybe a songwriting idea or something.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have a notes app in my phone, and it's full of stuff.
Yeah.
And every once in a while when I feel like I feel inspired to do something, I'll sit down, I'll start flipping through it and see if something in there, inspires me, but
yeah. Very cool. What's the when'd you pick that thing up, that guitar, for the first time?
The first time?
Yeah.
I was 14.
14.
It
seems to be a common age.
Guy out outside just asked me the same thing.
Tyler did?
Yeah. How long have you been playing? And
he's a sneaky good player himself.
Yeah, I let him play this. He looks pretty good. And I had to calculate it, but I'd give it away. I give away my age by doing that. But it's been 58 years.
Wow. No kidding. So 14 years old. Anybody inspire you? Was it somebody on the TV, or was it somebody in the house? Or
I wanted to sing.
Yep.
Okay, I was a trumpet player at the time,
and
I had been singing.
That's going to hurt your singing.
Yeah, it's hard to do at the same time.
Yeah.
And I had been singing for a number of years. I'd been singing and playing the guitar, but only at different. and playing the trumpet only at different times.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to sing. I really don't want to play the trumpet anymore. I really want to sing, and I wasn't. I figured I could learn the guitar by myself. I didn't think I could learn the piano, and besides, you can't carry a piano around.
Right. Yep.
And this was back in the days where hootenannies and and all that kind of stuff was going on, and so I wanted to be able to play.
Yep.
And so the guitar was the natural thing to go to.
Cool. There you go. Yeah, the guitar works better at the campfire than the piano does, doesn't it?
Yes, right.
Well, you want to play one for us here? Get us going and remind people what you sound like here, Mark?
Sure.
All right, this is Mark Bishop Evans on Joppa Afternoon Drive. Take it away, Mark.
miss you standing there. All that sunlight on your hair, I know you see. We pay for liberty, we're alone. That's not half as bad as some pains that I have had in my life. So if you cry at night, you're not alone. And I knew you at the start. I could feel you like a touch in the dark. Love is in your heart. You're not alone. Many other roads I've crossed, and yet I still seem at a loss to explain the comfort in the rain when you're alone. And when your spirit starts to bend and you find you need a friend, I'll help you through the storm. I'll hold you in my arms when we're alone. And I knew you at the start. I could feel you like a touch in the dark. But love is in your heart. You're not alone. And when the road through life gets long, listen softly for this song. Pour the wine until the end of time. You're not alone. Just pour the wine until the end of time. You're not alone. No, no. Oh, no, 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 no,
Nicely done.
Thank you.
Very nice. Mark Bishop Evans. That was beautiful there, sir. Well done.
Yeah, thanks. That's off the new CD.
All right.
Yeah.
What track we got there? I'm trying to. Let's see. That's track number. Where are we? What was the name of that one?
You're Not Alone.
No.
Or Touch in the Dark.
Touch in the Dark. Track 3. Yes. There we go. Track number 3 off the Something About Tomorrow album. There we go. Well, that was very nice. I'm loving your guitar too, by the way. That's a beauty.
Thank you.
Same one you had here last time?
No.
I didn't think so. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
I would have. Not that I didn't
This
notice the
is-
last one, but
This is the bang around guitar.
the bang around guitar.
The other one was the Big Baby.
You play them both a lot?
It depends. I take this around to open mics and things like that more
Yeah.
often. But what if I'm going to do a show where it's me?
Yep.
Then I use the other one for that.
Gotcha. So when did you write "Touch in the Dark"?
I wrote "Touch in the Dark" in probably 1980 something.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That song's been around for a long time.
Oh, okay. Has it taken on some new lives there, that song? Or?
Not really. It's pretty much the way it was. You know? It didn't change at all. Actually,
really,
it was probably a good thing. That means it was probably right the first time.
That's good. That is. What's that process like? If you, I always like to ask this because I know there are some songs that like take. You know, you pretty much can bang it out, and it's just everything comes together right away.
Yeah, the song writes itself.
Song writes itself. Yes, there you go. You said it better than I did. And then maybe there's some that you have to kind of grind over a little bit more, a little bit longer.
Some of them take months. Some of them take years.
All right, tell me about the one.
Some of them take decades.
Decades. You've had a song in your pocket for a decade?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I just kind of finished writing one. I didn't finish it. It's not completely done yet, but I first wrote the first part of it 11 days after the 9/11 attack.
Oh, wow.
And it kind of stalled, you know, and so I kind of put it away, and I didn't even look at it. You know, it got lost in the shuffle, and a month or so ago, I was going through some paperwork, and I came across it, and I went, wow. Let's see if I can do something with this, and so I've been working on it, and it's coming around.
No kidding.
Not quite ready yet. But
being careful with that one, huh?
Yeah.
That must be a interesting time to write about. I mean, there's plenty of music that has come out of 9/11.
Right.
Even some full albums that have come out about 9/11. But yeah, that's going to be. I mean, it's funny too because I was thinking. This past time around, when, you know, every year, I always find myself, I've said this before on the show, I always find myself watching like the History Channel at night because they play a lot of look backs and interviews with people that are, you know, even some of them are battling diseases, a lot of the police officers who were fighting for that 9/11 bill and all that. But I like to watch the coverage, the History Channel, because they remind me, and they, you know, it's that whole don't forget thing, and it's kind of just a nice way to not forget. But then this year was that year. I think it was the first high school class that wasn't born or wasn't alive during 9/11, and it, you know, kind of made you feel a little old, being me, who I remember it clearly. And it's for me, it was one of those parts of my life where it was just, you know, so vivid. One of the first things as a young, you know, teenager that I, you know. The world has changed today, and now it's you know, all these the high schoolers of today were not alive. This is crazy. Yeah. I know you probably have plenty of moments like that, but
and this song, I really like the perspective of this song. The song is called "To the Ones," and the killing line in it is. Here's to the ones who love the ones who won't be home tonight.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
You know, and it's really a perspective on those people who sat home and watched their loved ones die. Yeah. Or watched their husbands or wife run into those buildings. Yep. You know, their family members running into those buildings and never come out again. And, you know, and so that was the
life of a you know, a firefighter's. We got. You see, you've developed a crowd on the outside. There you go. That's always a good thing. That's been happening more and more. People looking in, going, "What? That's curious in there. Is that a live show? What's going on in there?" Let's do this, Mark. We're going to take one break, and then we're going to come back, and I want to just kind of free up the rest of the time to just kind of roll through with you. So let's take just our one break. We'll come right back. Much more with Mark Bishop Evans here on Joppa Afternoon Drive in just a moment. All right, welcome back to Afternoon Drive here on Joppa Radio. My name is Drew Moholland. Hope you're all having a good Tuesday out there. My guest is Mark Bishop Evans, a great singer-songwriter. Got the guitar in here today, a different guitar as we've established than last time. So I like it very much. He sounds good. And Mark, I was just saying we got some questions coming in for you, so that's a good thing. We'll get to those in a second. One of the questions was one I was going to ask you actually, so I'm kind of excited about that. But so this album, this came out when exactly?
Came out in June.
Came out in June. That's right. So this was, I think we had you on right about as this was coming out, right? Yeah, right around that time. Yeah. So how have the critical reviews been so far?
Well, I think it's everybody seems to like it.
That's good.
You know, I wish it was selling more, but you know, that's the life of, you know, how it is.
Yeah.
And,
What is CD sales like these days? I mean, are these things tough to kind of get out there? Because I
yeah,
mean,
they kind of are. I mean,
yeah.
you're competing with, you know, the streaming and,
Yeah.
and all of that, and
the kids these days in there.
you know, and what's really interesting is that you know, one hard CD sale like that
Yeah.
gives me as much profit as about 5,000 streams.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Right.
It's funny. It's funny you say that because there's a guy that I follow on Twitter, and most people know he's a very popular musician. Nils Lofgren. He's in Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band. He played with Neil Young, and but he's got his own solo career too. And he's made a point to post on Twitter about a couple months ago the residual check that he got. And this is a big time musician. I mean, he's got a lot of really big songs and records out there on his own right. He showed a check from, I think it was from the month, that was $7.42.
Yep.
And he said, "This is what I'm getting from Spotify and everything."
Right.
You know, and it was incredible. He didn't realize it. Yeah.
Right. You know, you wonder where's the money going
Yeah.
if it's not going to the artist. You know, but
And I mean, that's a big name. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so I don't know. That struck with me. That something's probably a little bit messed up there, but
yeah. Well, you get no argument on my part.
there you go. Well, there you go. We'll keep fighting it for you. But this is a great. I know you're playing a few from this album today, so people will get a good taste. How can they get this? Let's promote it a little bit.
You can get it on CD Baby.
Okay.
You can go to my website, markbishopevans.net, and contact me, and I'll send you. You know, we can do it that way.
There you go. Real person to person. I like it.
Yeah. Bull Moose in Salem, New Hampshire, is actually a record store,
Yes.
CD store.
Those still exist. Yeah.
Yeah, and they have copies of it there.
Cool.
Other than that, it's going to be Amazon. You know,
Yep.
I mean, Amazon and iTunes, those work out okay. It's the streaming. You know, when you download it, it's, you know, I get a lot more. The musician gets a lot more than when you stream it. So.
Yep. All right, there you go. So, but plenty of options for you to get it. Something About Tomorrow by Mark Bishop Evans. Mark, before you play one more, I'm going to ask you the question that was just sent in to me that I was going to ask anyway. So this is good. I like it when we double up. Two birds with one stone here. Who are your major influences?
My major influence growing up for the guitar and songwriting was Gordon Lightfoot.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yep.
And other than that, most of the singer-songwriters that have ever existed, you know, Bob Dylan, Peter, Paul, and Mary. Back in those days, Bob Dylan, Peter, Paul, and Mary, and then moving forward, you're looking at Cat Stevens and Harry Chapin and Dan Fogelberg and James Taylor, and I mean the list goes on and on. You know,
absolutely.
You know, Eric Anderson, Phil Oates. You know, I mean,
yeah.
Right.
The it's funny. The now Yusuf, right? But Cat Stevens now goes by Yusuf Islam, and he took that decades off in the prime of his career. That story has always fascinated me.
Right.
Obviously for a different calling, which I mean,
Right.
I guess,
Yeah.
but it's just amazing that they're such a talented guy. He had the looks, the talent, and just he had everything, and just walked away from it all, which is a fascinating story.
Right.
I remember seeing him at his Hall of Fame induction, and he just played it off like it was just what he had to do, and that was unbelievable.
You know? Well, I guess when you've had that kind of success,
Yeah.
it makes it easy. Well, who knows? I've not had that kind of success, so it's easy
Very
for
few.
me to guess at the fact that it's easier to walk away from it at that point. But I don't know.
Gotcha. Here's actually, since you mentioned Dylan, here's a story that you might appreciate. So I was at my wife and I got away to Woodstock, New York this weekend. I don't know, you ever been out to Woodstock? The not the concert, but the Hudson Valley.
Right.
For those of you who don't know, Woodstock was not actually in Woodstock. It was just the Woodstock group that did it like 100 miles away.
Right.
But so we're actually in Woodstock, New York, which actually is about a mile from the place we were staying at. I randomly just looked for some live music, and I see at Levon Helm Studios, which is Levon Helm of the band, his old barn they made into studios. And I've heard about it before. I didn't quite realize I was that close to it when I was, it was literally a mile. So I was like, look who's playing at Levon Helm's Studios tonight. It is the Wait Band, which is like a couple of the guys from the band, a couple of guys that used to play with Dylan. They're all professional musicians. They kind of come together to carry it on. says sold out. I'm like, for a mile, let's just drive in and see if we can figure it out. Drive in, long story short, they have 2 extras in this sold out show. It's been sold out for a year. And we pull into the barn down this dirt road. You think you're in the wrong place. No street lights. It's like you're in the middle of nowhere. Right. Drive down, and then all of a sudden there's a row of cars and boom, a parking lot, and there you are at Levon's barn. We had a great night. It was unbelievable. 150 people max, and listening to a bunch of the band and Dylan music, and it was really cool. That's my story from the weekend.
That's cool.
We got lucky. We got lucky. But when you said Bob Dylan, I figured I got to drop that story. And a lot of guys that played with Bob, and it was a fun night. So why don't we hear another one here from Mark Bishop Evans? Something About Tomorrow. We're gonna hear another one off this track, this album.
How about Don't Stop Your Dreams?
All right, Don't Stop Your Dreams here by Mark Bishop Evans on Joppa Afternoon Drive.
It's hard to know when timing's wrong. Takes more than words to make a song. What you say and what you mean are different still from what you dream. Now who can say if dreams will last when future visions mirror the past? If you believe as many do, then you can see your dreams come true. So don't you ever stop your dreaming or cover up your eyes. Don't miss the midnight lightning or sunset's golden skies. For all these things are set aside for those who long to see. I said, darling, don't you ever stop your dreams. Life can change from day to day. The dawn can chase your dreams away. It takes so long for time to show. The more we learn, the less we know. So don't you ever stop your dreaming or cover up your eyes. Don't miss the midnight lightning, the sunset's golden skies. For all these things are set aside for those who long to see. I said, darling, don't you ever stop your dreams. So close your eyes and then you'll see when life is hard, your dreams are free. To reach the moon, you gotta try for the stars. Then out of reach is just not too far. If you never stop your dreaming or cover up your eyes, don't miss the midnight lightning, the sunset's golden skies. For all these things are set aside for those who long to see. I said, darling, don't you ever stop your dreams. I said, darling, don't you ever stop your dreams.
Nicely done, sir. Mark Bishop Evans on Joppa Afternoon Drive.
Thank you.
Very nice. Another one there off his album, Something About Tomorrow. Mark, as I look at this album here, I know, and I knew this anyway, but not only is it a lot of it produced by E.J. Ouellette, a good friend of the show, who we actually had on last week. E.J. actually plays on a lot of this, doesn't he?
He plays on every song, almost every instrument.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? Do you know I asked him how many instruments he actually plays, and he did not know?
Yeah, well, you find one and that's laying in, you walk into a studio and there's instruments all over the place. They're hanging on the walls, they're laying in corners,
Yep.
I asked him the other day, I was over there recording a Christmas song, and there's he's got a piano, and there's a harp. Sitting on the piano, this old looked like something out of the 14th century harp sitting on the piano, and I said, you don't play that, do you? And he says, yeah, I play that.
Of course he does.
Yeah.
What a talented guy. Huh?
Yes, absolutely.
What's it like working with him? Is it?
It's fantastic. He's so accommodating, and he's a great talent, and he's got great ideas and great instincts. And,
a lot of energy too. It seems to nice creative environment.
Yeah, but I do get tired of hearing, do that again.
I can see that. Bit of a perfectionist, is he?
Well, yeah, and you feel like you did a great job. That was good. I did that one good. And he said, do it again.
Oh, jeez.
I don't want to do it again.
But that was perfect. That's funny. Well, good. I'm glad to. But you guys like working together, obviously, because he was great last week too. So thank you, EJ. Mark, one story that I remember, and just for people that did not catch your interview the last time, and just for whatever reason, it just completely stuck with me after we left the studio, and I've told the story actually several times since, some of the great guests I've had on, and it's the story that just I retold it a bunch of times and said you got to check out this interview, and we just kind of stumbled upon this, but we ended up talking about your time in Vietnam last time,
right? And
how you ended up kind of touring. That guitar ended up kind of being the thing you were carrying around in Vietnam for a long time.
Yeah, well, the first 3.5 months I was there, I did what most people do in Vietnam, which is carry a gun and stomp through the rice paddies. But I heard about Command Military Touring Shows, which was a group that was putting together in-country shows. They were taking servicemen out of different units who had talent, and they were putting them together into little shows and sending them out to entertain the troops at fire bases. And so I was put together with 2 other guys, all of us guitar players, completely different. One was a blues player from Washington, D.C., and country player from Nashville, Tennessee, and here I am, a folk singer from California.
Perfect. Yeah. There's the trio.
You got 7 days. Put a show together, and you're on the road, And so we did that for almost 4 months, 3 shows a day, 3 or 4 shows a day, helicoptering in at different places.
Not exactly the quietest of places either.
No, actually, I probably got shot at more, flying in and out of fire bases than I would have if I was stomping around the rice paddy.
Jeez.
It was an amazing experience, and some of the things that happened were very moving, and some of them were very scary.
Can I ask a question that seems extremely obvious the answer, but I just have to know how you respond to it? What is it like being in a helicopter that is getting shot at?
It makes you, the first few times makes you really nervous.
Yeah, the first few times.
Yeah.
Okay.
But after a while, you get used to it. You just hope that you're not, when the doors open, you hope nothing comes through the door. You hope it goes into the undercarriage. That's good.
Oh my goodness. Well, yeah, that's just, as you can imagine, that's tough for me to get my head around.
You can't, after everything you become numb to a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's probably scary in its own right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So when you realize that doesn't scare me anymore, this scares you.
Yeah, and you had some great stories too, though. You said there were some days where you realized some of the guys were late coming to your show.
Yeah.
And it was because there was a mission that had gone bad.
Right.
And that's why people weren't on time for your show, and you guys were waiting. And you said that some of these guys came back and ended up being really badly hurt, right? But they
didn't want to. They refused to be medevaced out till after the show.
Wow.
And it was probably the one single thing that sticks out most from my whole tour in Vietnam was that incident, and mostly because prior to that, the three of us had been standing around kind of moaning and groaning, where are these guys? Don't they know we're here to play for them? How come they're late? And all this kind of stuff.
Complaining musicians a little bit.
Yeah. and then they come traipsing in, bringing a couple of guys on stretchers, and we find out what's going on. It was really hard to get up and do that show. I mean, it was very emotional.
Yeah.
You know? It was a very
Talk about pressure, right? I mean, you probably don't see an audience you get nervous by anymore.
I don't get nervous. Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez, I mean, talk about a pressure audience. That's it's an amazing story. I don't, certain stories stick with you when you do these interviews and you stumble upon them, you know.
Right.
And that one always stuck with me. But incredible. And thank you for your service, of course. Sometimes you don't say that enough, you know. Does it make you? I know you're no stranger to the political songs and all that. But when you see all the kind of the ugliness from a Washington perspective right now, you know, you had the baseball game the other night, and you got 30,000 people boo the president of the United States,
right.
Or at least a good portion of them. I think a lot of, you get the liberal side and the Republicans yelling at the conservative side yelling at each other. That's a very liberal town. I don't care what it is. It's kind of a bad moment to be an American there when you see that happening at a baseball field on national TV. And
to take that a step further, it's terribly discouraging that we're in a climate that would generate that.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that the whole climate of what's going on politically generates those kinds of feelings in people.
Yeah.
Right? That they would feel okay with doing that.
Yeah.
Right? And vice versa on both sides. So
yeah.
So that's very discouraging that we as a country can't come together and get our act together.
And I mean, when you came back from, obviously that was when people talk about the tough times to be an American. That time after Vietnam is one of the ones that jumps out at you, and the soldiers, not necessarily feeling like they were welcomed back home, and I know for somebody who was there, I mean, do you see any, not necessarily parallels, but do you see some of the ugliness parallels? Maybe I don't.
I see the degree of feeling, the very tense, very high, very strong feelings that are going on. That back then it was anti-war.
Yeah.
Right. Back then it was all anti-war.
Yeah.
Now it's a lot of other stuff, but the intensity of the feelings is very reminiscent of that time.
When you guys were over there, fighting in Vietnam, did you know all that was happening back here? Did you have a sense of these protests were being taken to the streets?
Oh yeah, we weren't oblivious to that.
Yeah.
I mean, you got news over there, and you watch TV and news programs and all that kind of stuff, and of course you'd hear all the music, and the main thing being played on Armed Forces radio was 1, 2, 3. What are we fighting for?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
And that type of thing. So. We were very aware of the climate back in the country, and I can pretty much guarantee you that the vast majority of the guys that I knew in Vietnam did not want to be there.
Yeah.
I
can imagine.
Did not think that we were fighting a war to save America.
It's gonna be tough to keep morale high in that situation. But, well, anyways, thank you. I always appreciate you being so open about that stuff. They're incredible stories. And anyways, thank you. Mark Bishop Evans. You got another one in you there? You want to take another one away here and keep it rolling? Mark Bishop Evans playing some stuff today off Something About Tomorrow, his new album. Get it off his website. Get it off a variety of platforms, as he mentioned earlier. So we'll take it away here. Mark Bishop Evans.
After all, the words have come and gone.
After winter days are cold and long, finally we're alone. There is no more trying, maybe we can have a laugh or two. I wouldn't try to bring you any pain, but chase away your sun or bring you rain. All I have in mind, after all the time together, maybe we can have a laugh or two. I don't have a mind to try and change the tide. It's more than just a question of our pride that kept driving us on. So after all the songs, after days so long and weary, maybe we can have a laugh or two. After moonlight fades into the dawn, pushing back the clouds to find the sun. Remember, if you will, all the times our hearts were flying, and maybe we can have a laugh or two. No way to count the time in years. Pride can't stop the loneliness and fears only time can heal. So after no regrets, after all the bets are canceled, maybe we can have a laugh or two. Maybe we can have a laugh or two. Maybe we can have a laugh or two.
There it is. Very nice. Laugh or two there. The song that closes out that album.
It does.
What's the structure there? What was the mindset? There's got to be a real crafting and art to making the perfect album, and what to start with, what to end with.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the theme of that song. Maybe we can have everything's over and done with now. Maybe we can have a laugh or two.
There you
It kind
go.
of made itself the ending song. You know?
There you go. Simple as that. We addressed some things in the middle, and now.
Right.
Okay. Very good. Very nice. You sound great in here, Mark, as always. Thank you. Thank you for the performances here again. Again, this is off these songs here off Something About Tomorrow. Make sure to pick this up because it is very good, as you're hearing here. Some great songs. Do you like playing them? I mean, it's great to do it with EJ and get it to this finished product on the album and all that. Is there something refreshing about taking all the extra music away, though, and just you sitting down with this guitar and just hearing the guitar in your voice?
Well, that's how the songs were written.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's how they were initially intended to be played.
Yep.
You know, I mean, I never. I play solo. You know, I mean, I get together with other people and have them back me up from time to time, but it's not the norm.
Yeah.
It's the anomaly, and so. You know, when I do an album and it's all produced like that, it takes me a while to get used to hearing the songs like that. Because I'm not used to it.
Where'd that instrument come from? Sounds nice.
What was that? Yeah. Oh, okay. All right.
EJ, what did you do there? Oh, that's funny, but no, it sounds great with the guitar. You want to keep rolling, Mark? Do you want to do another one? I'm sure you like getting as much of this out there as possible. So again, Mark Bishop Evans here on Joppa Afternoon Drive, playing some music off Something About Tomorrow. Take it away there, Mark. Here's another one.
Well, this song This song I wrote from my mom.
Oh, very nice. Okay.
Okay, she passed away a year ago last Saturday, actually, and so I found a place up in New Hampshire that I really loved and she really loved called Fourth Iron. It's right off of 302 north of Conway, and so I wrote a song for her after I spread her ashes up there. So.
Very nice.
There's a place in the mountains a bit north of Conway. Train trestle spans a ravine. They call it the Fourth Iron for obvious reasons. The fourth bridge that crosses the stream. Late in her life, she would sometimes just sit there and watch as the water flowed by, giving thanks for the goodness her 95 years had supplied. She was born to a family of adequate means, deep in society's games. Grew up the apple of everyone's eye, gathered some honors and fame. A beautiful child that more often smiled than ever gave in to a frown. More glad in the forest than wearing tiaras and gowns. She rose to the top of society's pedestal, had all that she could desire. But when war took the nation, she rushed to the aid of the boys that the country required. A bosom fought all the ones who had fought and were so often far from their homes. So they made her the queen of the ball and called her their own. Now I'm standing on Fourth Iron over the water that rushes and tumbles and falls. As a mist in the valley collects in my eyes, I remember the queen of the ball. My tears and her ashes all mingle together as the memories pour down like rain. And I cling to the thoughts of the woman who loved me, and I cherish the joy and the pain. By the end of the war, there were men by the score, all rushing to ask for her hand. But she loved a Marine who was dashing and clean. Soon at the altar they'd stand. Next came her son, and she'd have only one, which was something she couldn't have known. And when the soldier took leave, then she raised up her baby alone. For most of her years, her son wasn't near, having wandered far off on his own. And although she grieved, she always believed someday he'd wander back home. Now that didn't happen the way she supposed, but it still came around in the end. And 30 years later, they found out that they were still friends. So late in her 80s, she moved to the east walks in the forest and drives by the sea. They recaptured those lost bits of joy. She opened her heart and she told him her story, shared all her loves and her pains. They laughed and they cried, and afterwards he did the same. The 95 summers, 95 springtimes, 95 winters and falls. They laughed and they cried, but all she would say is how much she was blessed by it all. If you're one of those folks who was lucky to know her, be sure you will always recall the smile on her face and the grace of the queen of the ball. Now I'm standing on 4th Iron over the water that rushes and tumbles and falls as a mist in the valley collects in my eyes. I remember the queen of the ball. My tears and her ashes all mingle together as the memories pour down like rain. And I cling to the thoughts of the woman who loved me, and I cherish the joy and the pain. Yes, I cling to the thoughts of the woman who raised me and fashioned the man I became.
Very nice. Beautiful, Mark.
Thank you.
That's one of those, the truth just kind of drips right off that song. It's pretty, very nice. Nice tribute. You had a nice tribute there on Facebook, I noticed, too. I think that was a couple weeks back there when you said probably miss Mom forever, right? Or something along those
that's
lines.
right.
Obviously meant a lot to you. Did she enjoy listening to you?
Yeah, she loved having me sing. I got to sing to her a lot.
Oh, that's good. Encouraged the music growing up, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's always nice.
Well, she encouraged the trumpet. She encouraged the voice. She wasn't wild about the guitar. But then, that's too much like rock and roll,
That Elvis uses that guitar.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That heathen.
Yes. That's funny. Well, that's very nice. The and that one's Queen of the Ball there off the album. Track 8 there. So very nice. The 95, huh?
Yeah.
What a life.
Yeah, great life.
God, I hope we're all that lucky, right?
Yeah.
So encourage the music. You played for her a lot, and that's kind of a sweet thing to have there at the end, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
What's it like writing about all the people that you know so quickly? I mean, I know your parents are an extreme example, but I'm sure you're writing about all these stories that you've lived and it's kind of, does it bring you back sometimes to certain places, certain locations?
Well, it has to.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if you're going to write the song, if you're going to write the song meaningfully,
genuinely,
you need to kind of revisit that. You need to revisit the emotion. You need to revisit the places in your head, And so, it's a walk down memory lane, right?
Yes. Yes, I can imagine. Well, I mean, Mark, as I always say, the show always flies by when we have the guests that we love. I could do a few hours with you. Let's do this. We got... let's see, we did June last time. Let's not make it so long until we have you on again, because we always enjoy doing it. So,
sounds good.
So we'll do that, and so let's see. We'll do something around the holidays with you if you're open to it. We always enjoy it. Thank you, Lily Doucette, Tyler Newfield, Sarah Hayden. Caleb Noble, the whole gang in there that put this show on, radio listeners and everybody watching at home. Thank you. Thank you. This has been Mark Bishop Evans on Joppa Afternoon Drive, Something About Tomorrow. You can find him on Facebook. You can. That's a good way to get in touch with you, right?
Yeah.
The Facebook music. You're pretty
Mark
active.
Bishop Evans Music on Facebook.
All right, and of course, as mentioned earlier, go back and check out some of the local record stores, Amazon, all that stuff. You can get this album, Something About Tomorrow. It is a good one, as you've heard here. Final minute, Mark. You want to play us out here and take us home into Wednesday, I guess, Tuesday afternoon music?
Sure, I'll get a little instrumental something or other.
Again, a big thanks to Mark Bishop Evans. Thursday, I think we're going to do more music, folks. I believe we got another music show lined up for you, so we're getting a lot of likes on that. People enjoying that. As you can see, it's a great take. Live performances from some great local musicians here, like Mark Bishop Evans. Again, get his album, Something About Tomorrow. It is a good one. Support your local artist and pick that up. You will not be disappointed. We will see you on Thursday, folks. Should be another good one. Same time, same place. Follow the show at Joppa Afternoons on Twitter. That's at Joppa Afternoons on Twitter. Mark Bishop Evans taking us out.